Hi, I'm Jamie Batts. I'm a star director for Team Movers and Shakers. I've been with Scentsy since December of 2012. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about fundraisers. Fundraisers are one of the best ways to build your PRV, and they're a great way to expand your network to get new customers and new leads for parties and team members. So let's talk about how you find fundraisers, because that is first and foremost the most important thing about doing a fundraiser is finding one. So you can find them just by searching your friends on Facebook. Check out what they're posting about. Are they raising money for Relay for Life? Are they participating in a March of Dimes fundraiser? Are they raising money for a local friend or family member? You will see lots of people doing those types of fundraising or attending those types of events. Reach out to them. Hey, I can help you out. Would you be interested in doing a Scentsy fundraiser? What's the worst they say? No, right? So don't be afraid to put some feelers out there to your friends on Facebook, even if they're people that you haven't talked to in a long time. The other thing you can do when you are prospecting for fundraisers is talk to your current customer base. If you have a VIP group or a Facebook business page, put it out there. Hey, I'm looking for a few groups to donate some money to this fall. Do you know any organizations that are looking for help? If your own children or neighbors' children or whoever are on sports teams or doing different activities, maybe through church or other organizations, they might need some fundraising. So never be afraid to ask. And it literally is as simple as saying, hey, do you think your organization could use some extra money? And then, of course, what are they going to say? Yeah. And then you say, okay, let's set up a time to talk about how easy a Scentsy fundraiser could be, right? And then you could just have a quick phone conversation or a quick email. And I have some documents that I can share with you also. I'll try to post them in the link below, some kind of prospecting type documents that you can use. So that's one of the first things, right? You have to wrap your head around how to find fundraisers. After you've found a fundraiser, you're going to then need to consider what is the best type of fundraiser for this organization. Now, there's different types of fundraisers. You could do a single item fundraiser, such as a scent circle or a car bar or a buddy clip or a buddy. Those are great for smaller groups or groups that are not familiar with the concept of Scentsy. So if the Scentsy products in your area are not very popular, you find yourself having to explain what they are over and over again to people. They're unfamiliar. You think about your prospects in this fundraiser, if they're just going to see this catalog and maybe be confused by what the products are, then maybe a single item fundraiser would be easier for you. I think single item fundraisers are easier for children's groups, but that's just my personal opinion. The other type of fundraiser you could do is a whole catalog. Now, I'm using the term catalog loosely because I personally would not include a catalog in the fundraiser packets. I would include a showcase brochure or product sheet instead. They're much cheaper, and they do not show the combine and save or bundle and save options that we have in our catalog, and I'll explain why that's important in just a few minutes. So with that said, think about how you're going to deliver this information to the participants in the fundraiser, okay? So you have your prospecting conversations that you're going to be having with all of the people that you have in your circle of influence. You may want to have a fundraiser packet or a fundraiser prospecting packet made up. I have a few of these on hand, and again, I'll post the links below to those files, but it's as simple as saying, hey, I can help you earn this much on your fundraiser, and this is how long my fundraiser lasts for, and this is the benefits of doing a Scentsy fundraiser with me, right? And you'll say things like, I'll do all the paperwork and all the sorting and no shipping charges or things like that, right? You want to make yourself as appealing as possible. So that goes with the prospecting. Then you're going to figure out what type of fundraiser you're going to do. And again, I mentioned either those single product fundraisers or a whole product sheet / showcase brochure. You could also, and I think this is a really great option, you could also simplify it down, and instead of offering the entire catalog, pick 10 or so warmers and make your own flyer, right? So pick 10 or 15 warmers, make it one page long, and then pick 10 or 20 different scents and list them along the bottom. And your participants are picking from that instead of from the entire product sheet. It's less overwhelming because if you think about all the products that we offer, from diffusers to our new Scentsy Go, all of the children's line, and then the body line, there's a lot of products, and so looking at that sheet can get very overwhelming. Whereas if you just keep it simple with just warmers and wax, makes it a lot more easy to follow, and a quicker impulsive decision for the parents who are going to be purchasing from this fundraiser. So consider doing something like that as well. You can make a product flyer on a platform such as Canva or PicMonkey, or I'm probably sure you could maybe even be able to do it on our new PhotoFi app. I'm not sure. So that's one of the ways you can do it. Now let's talk about how you orchestrate the fundraiser. So this is going to really be indicated by your relationship and your conversation with the fundraiser coordinator. You're going to need to figure out how many fundraiser packets are there, right? Who are they delivering the fundraiser packet to, and when, right? You need to set a deadline. So in the typical fundraiser packets that I will create, I will include whatever the document is that they're going to be ordering from. So whether it's the product sheet or the showcase brochure or that handmade flyer. If you're doing a single item fundraiser, such as a buddy clip or scent circle fundraiser, there's lots of documents out there in Scentsy World for you to find and modify with your own information. And I'll try to post some of those below as well. So you can use that. You're also going to need some type of order form. Now this is where it gets tricky. If you're doing a whole showcase brochure or whole catalog fundraiser, you're going to want to try to find some way of simplifying that order form down, because a lot of people get confused with that product code column. So maybe making your own order form, photocopying it into the packets, or if you condense that catalog down into those 10 or 20 warmers and 10 or 20 bars, you can kind of make an order form thinking of like what a Girl Scout cookie order form looks like, where you just have all of the options across the top and then the names down the side, and then people just kind of check what they want. Making a document like that will really streamline the ordering process and make it much easier for you when it comes to bookkeeping and sorting. So consider doing something like that. You could also do it all online. That's another option for you. Setting up just a Facebook party and having everyone order directly through the party link. That would work just like a Facebook party. However, it will reduce the amount of commission you're able to donate, right? So remember I said you can kind of play around with how much you donate. Well, typically consultants will donate their commission. And so that will range from 20 to 30%. If it's a large fundraiser and you're anticipating hitting that 2,000 mark for the month, then you can go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to give 30%. If it's a transition month, you can actually give as much as 50% because of using Combine and Saves and that extra 10% off. So here's how that will work. And this is, again, why I tend to prefer those 10 to 20 warmer and 10 to 20 bar fundraisers, right? Because what you can do is you're going to give them that order form, and they're going to select from that order form, you know, Chasing Fireflies warmer and a Jane warmer, and then a couple of scents, right? And they're totaling up that price as if they're not Combine and Saves, right? As if they're not bundled together for a discount. But when you put it in, you're going to bundle them as a discount, and you're going to be able to make a little bit of extra money on that because you've upcharged them. So you're charging more up front so that you can give more in the end. And when you do that during a transition month, you're able to give up to 50%. On a normal month that's not transition, you can bundle and save up to 40%. Again, that's assuming you're hitting that 2,000 mark for your monthly PRV. So it's a really great option because a lot of fundraiser groups are looking for the highest yield in their sales. So I have personally done a ton of fundraising outside of Scentsy before I was a Scentsy consultant, and I was always looking for the groups that would give me 50 and 60% return. And as consultants, it's really almost impossible for us to participate or compete with that without losing money. So it's a great option for us to be able to do a little bit of that upcharging up front so that we can give it back to them in the end and say that we're giving you that 40% back, because that makes a big difference. If you think about some fundraiser groups that will say, I'll give you 20% versus other fundraiser groups that will give you 40%, that organization is serious about fundraising. They're going to choose that 40% group. So just think about that. So that's really kind of the nuts and bolts. There's some other things to think about when you're fundraising. One is all the hostess rewards. You are going to accumulate the hostess rewards. Since you're donating your commission, you're not giving the hostess rewards away unless you want to, right? You can always, this is great, especially for kids groups, you can always say, hey, the top 3 earners get a, buddy clip for half price, or get a buddy for half price, or get a free buddy, right? You can use your hostess rewards to purchase those gifts and incentives for those top earners. Because even though the majority of the participants in a fundraiser are really just purchasing the bare minimum, there are a few that are going to be driven to be that top seller. And by dangling that little carrot in front of them, you're really ensuring that there gets to be some competition within that group, so that somebody is kind of vying for those top selling positions to get those free items or half price items. The other thing you could do for a fundraiser, instead of a traditional kind of party style where you give out the packets and then recollect them back, or a Facebook party, you could also set up at an event. You can encourage the group to set up as like an open house or a kind of stop and shop. And instead of you submitting orders, you're going to sell your cash and carry and donate a portion of the profits right then and there. And then you're able to just hand over cash on the spot to the coordinator at the end of the event. So if you set up an event and you say, I'm going to donate 20% of my sales for everything sold today, you sell $100, before you leave, you can go ahead and give that coordinator the $20, and then you're one and done. Right? You've washed your hands of it. You don't have any follow-ups, any overheads, any other packaging, anything like that. So again, depending on the group or the organization, that might be something to consider as well. Only thing that gets tricky when you talk to organizations about that is then they start thinking, oh, maybe I'll invite all these other vendors. And that is where you get a little bit of dilution in your sales, and that can be a little tricky. So you want to be strategic in who and how you approach that with. Because I've been a part of several large fundraising events, and they're not very profitable for the group overall, because every consultant there ends up selling $100 or $200. And so that's really only 20, 30, maybe $40 per consultant that's being donated. And so you're not really able to leave that impact that you want. And I know that I like to do fundraising because I really want to make an impact and give back. And so by communicating with my friends and family, the local community, as well as my customers, and saying, hey, I'd really like to help your organization, I'm able to give back in a way that I wouldn't be able to if I didn't have a Scentsy business. So it's a really good, warm, fuzzy feeling. I'm sure I talked too fast. I'm sure I created more questions than I've answered. Please comment below if you do have questions, or reach out to me privately on Facebook. I'd love to help you get set up with successful fundraisers. This was just an overview to get you introduced to the concept of fundraisers, kind of open your mind to how fundraisers don't have to be a traditional kind of book and pen and paper type of thing. So have a great day. Bye.